Welcome to Boot Camp, Cadet. I'm your drill sergeant. In this first exercise, I'll instruct you in the ways of issuing basic move orders. But first, in Steel Division, each battle begins with a selection of the units to be deployed during the action, called a battle group. Click Next to compose your battle group. This is your battle group overview. It's composed of 8 unit classes, which we will explore step by step during the boot camp's exercises. Each category contains up to 10 slots in which you will later place a unit's pack. Only the unit's pack selected in your battle group will be available for the mission. For the purpose of this exercise, we've granted you access to the infantry class with 1 unit pack slot. Left-click on the slot to edit this class. Welcome to the showroom of the infantry class. It seems like the raw recruits are ready for the exercise. In Steel Division, units are available by pack. Packs are composed of one of several units' cards, which represent the maximum number of deployable units on the field. Notice the available Airborne Rifles pack. Click on the unit pack and hover values to obtain further information about the unit. Right-click or drag and drop the available Airborne Rifles pack on the empty slot to be able to deploy it on the field. Once the Airborne Rifles pack is in your battle group, click Back, then in Steel Division, each battle begins by the deployment phase. Its purpose is to pre-position your units within the blue area, called the deployment zone, and plan your strategy before the battle begins. To position a unit on the deployment zone, click on the Requisition menu to deploy it. Then click on the Airborne Rifles pack and left-click on the deployment zone to position the unit. The number on the Requisition menu is your given 70 requisition points for the deployment phase. A deployed Airborne Rifles unit uses 1 card from the pack and 35 requisition points. Once all the unit cards have been deployed on the map, the pack disappears. Infantry units are deployed with a transport already accounted for in the card. The WC-25 truck is an unarmed transport from which the Airborne Rifles squad disembarks to fight on the battlefield. Vehicles go faster on the road. It is advised to deploy motorized unit on road to quickly reach a strategic position. You can shift the unit's position by holding down left-click on the unit's tag, or remove it right-click from the map to place it back to the Requisition menu. Click the Launch Battle button once you have completed the deployment. Well done. The battle is launched and your deployed WC-25 is now under your control. Control the camera using the short keys. Direct it using the arrows. Rotate it by pressing the middle mouse button and the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Zoom on a unit tag to trigger the follow camera. Your objective here is simple. You must reach the farm and disembark an Airborne Rifles squad once there. Notice on the map the road that goes straight to the farm. The quickest way to complete the objective is to give the order unload at position to your WC-25 unit at the farm. To issue your first move orders, left-click on the unit's tag to select the unit. Left-click on the Unload at Position order and left-click on the map to apply it, or right-click to cancel the order.
Yes, sir. I'll let you off at these coordinates.
The Unload at Position orders the transport units to take the fastest way using the road network and disembark their passengers at the selected position. Beware, once the unit is disembarked, the transport disappears and cannot be used again. When a unit receives an order, you can select it and press Shift to display the ongoing order in real time. You can also give multiple orders by pressing Shift. A unit can also comply with other move orders. The move order orders the units to take the straightest route to the selected position. The Move Fast orders a vehicle to take the quickest route, using the road network to the selected position.
Loud and clear.
One transport unit has reached the farm. You can wait for the unload at position order to comply, or you can use the disembark to immediately disembark the airborne rifles from its transport. No sign of enemy units. The farm is secured. Well done, sir. Your airborne rifle squad is now controlling the area. Your first success, sir. You've learned how to compose a battle group, to deploy, apply move orders, and disembark the infantry from their transport. Good job. The second exercise will be your first contact with an enemy. I will teach you how to deal with the front line, urban cover, and firepower. Click Next to build your battle group. We have unlocked 2 unit pack slots. Left-click on a slot to edit the infantry class. The Airborne M1919 machine gun is now available. It is an infantry team with a medium machine gun. Different units in Steel Division have different equipment. This impacts their requisition points cost, role, and card availability. Learning how to distinguish each pack by hovering over their values is crucial for your success on the field. Each pack fills 1 activation points. Here you have 2 activation points maximum at your disposal. Fill your battle group to spend them all. Pick the Airborne Rifles pack and the new Airborne M1919 machine gun pack to validate your battle group. The red front line indicates a perimeter controlled by an enemy. Army intelligence has warned us that at least 1 enemy unit is holding the farm sector. Since your units are deployed with their transport, you should not expose them that way to enemy fire. Instead, disembark them in the selected area near the farm sector so they can close on the enemy position on foot. You can issue your first move orders during the deployment phase. Select the deployed unit and order Unload at Position and apply it. Keep in mind that your troops will comply with the order only when the battle starts. Click the Launch Battle button once you have completed your deployment.
Nothing to report.
Notice that the front line is moving when your troops are advancing. Most of the units in Steel Division influence the front line, so it gives you a feedback on enemy strength and direction, and vice versa. We've arrived. Disembark your troops here.
Sir,
Move fast and clear. Airborne ready, sir.
These farm buildings appear empty. They can provide good cover for your men. Move them inside. Notice the mouse's cursor color changing when you hover over map elements. The color indicates the level of protection. Yellow for light cover, and cursor green for heavy cover.
Need some covering fire? Damn, this thing is heavy.
First platoon! Easy, company! Lipton, Malarkey, come with me. Platoon formed and ready.
Grab spotted, check your sights.
Yes, sir.
German grenadiers are firing at us. This is the first taste of battle. These grenadiers are tough guys with their deadly light machine guns. The best way to dislodge them is to meet them with superior firepower from the cover of the farm building.
Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. First platoon, easy, company.
Notice the unit's status gauge above the unit tag. It indicates the suppression level of a unit. When it's full, the soldiers are pinned down. Pinned down units can surrender by moving close to them. It's also a good way of neutralizing an enemy. Congratulations, sir. The enemy is pinned down. If you are close enough, you can make them surrender.
Yes, sir.
Great job. The enemy unit surrendered. They raised the white flag and will soon leave the battlefield. Well done, sir. The front line is moving and is now overlaying the farm as there are no further enemies there. You've learned how to use the basics of the infantry in the front line to use morale and urban cover at your advantage. Good job. After the successful raid on the farm sector, squads on the field are asking for an ammo resupply. During this exercise, I will teach you how to capture an enemy supply unit and how to resupply. Click Next to build your battle group. Pick all available infantry packs to validate your battle group. As you can see, a new pack of infantry, the Airborne Leader, is available. Notice the white star on the unit card. This specialty icon indicates a platoon leader who improves the stats of every unit nearby and also heavily influences the front line. Most leader squads are small and too lightly equipped to engage the enemy on their own. It is also strongly advised to combine them with regular infantry squads on the field. We've got intel about unarmed Opel Blitz left in the farm sector. The squads deployed on the field can safely capture it. The road seems clear, so you will exceptionally not deploy any units on the deployment zone, but simply guide the glider rifles and the Airborne M1919 machine gun on the field to capture the unarmed enemy unit in the farm sector. Click on the Launch Battle button.
Germans ahead! Get ready for a fight!
To capture an enemy supply unit, first make sure no other enemy unit is nearby. Then simply bring one of your units close to it, and it will automatically switch sides. The Opel Blitz is captured. This is an unarmed supply unit which can replenish any nearby units with ammunition. Capturing this type of unit is a good way to exhaust enemy units on the field. Since the glider rifles and the Airborne M1919 machine gun weapons are depleted, you need to bring the squads and the supply unit to a halt together to refill their weapons.
Platoon, formed and ready! That's not a plane, but I'll do it. Airborne ready, sir.
Need some covering fire? Thank God. I'm tired of carrying this thing.
Zielkoordinaten, Kommandant. Taxi, dort müssen wir hin.
Notice the yellow circle. It represents the supply range for units to get replenished. Now your units are once again ready to kick some ass. German troops are flanking us and will soon surround the units in the farm sector. Units are considered surrounded once they cease to be linked to a ground reinforcement route or are not close to a platoon leader. We need to regain control over the map. We have been granted new requisition points and may deploy units from our battle group on the field to neutralize all enemy units.
Careful! Enemies nearby. Jawohl, Herr Hauptmann.
We have identified an enemy platoon leader, the Grenadier Führer, along with the Grenadier infantry squads. That's why they have so easily reclaimed control of the front line. If we could neutralize the Grenadier Führer squad, its influence over both the front line and the Grenadier squad will lessen and eventually collapse.
Careful! Enemies nearby.
We need to break the surrounded units' encirclement. Luckily, the Airborne M1919 machine gun is an airborne unit, as indicated by the wings on its card and tag. Airborne units are used to being surrounded, so they retain their influence on the front line the same way as platoon leaders. On the other hand, a non-airborne or non-leader unit, such as the glider rifles, once surrounded, loses its capacity to hold the front line and suffers moral penalties in enemy territory.
Achtung, Feind im Nahbereich. Taxi ready.
You've lost a unit, sir. Call for reinforcements and deploy the new unit on the battlefield.
Captain.
Ready, sir.
You have deployed your airborne leader. Good choice. Once disembarked, it improves the experience level of any allied unit close to it. This up-leveling is represented by the yellow star under a unit tag. An experienced unit gets improved accuracy, shorter reload time, and stress resilience. Once your soldiers are on foot, click on the hunt order. That stance allows your soldiers to stop moving and to fire at the first enemy within range. Most of the infantry cannot shoot while in movement.
Get a move on, men.
An enemy squad is pinned down and cannot move. It's a perfect opportunity to force its surrender. Make sure the unit is isolated to bring one of your own nearby. To force a unit to surrender, it needs to be covered by the opponent front line, suppressed, and with no ally unit close by. Once a unit surrenders, it leaves the battlefield raising a white flag. Great job. The enemy squad surrendered. They raised the white flag and will soon leave the battlefield. Good job. One enemy squad has been neutralized. You're beginning to slightly regain control over the map. Continue to deploy units on the field to swiftly get rid of the remaining enemies.
Ready, sir. I'll get you there as soon as possible. Ready to transport. Yes, sir.
Come on, folks. War's over there.
The surrounding units are saved. Great job. You have successfully rallied them. Well done, sir. You have reclaimed control over the map. You have successfully put into practice the capture of an enemy supply unit, the resupply of your troops, and regain control of the map. During this exercise, you'll have to deal with an unknown situation, and you're being granted access to the artillery and support classes. Click Next to compose your battle group. One unit's pack slots is available in the unlocked artillery and support classes. Don't forget to add the new units available in your battle group. Pick the usual Airborne Rifles card for your battle group. The unarmed Jeep supply is now available. Pick it for your battle group. The Airborne Mortar 60mm is now available. It is a weapon team armed with a single 60mm mortar which shoots an indirect fire at position from a distance. Pick it for your battle group. Make good use of what you've learned so far and inspect the farm area with your Airborne Rifles squad section.
Carried away, sir. knows where we're going. Glad to see somebody knows where we're going. Good, buddy. Go in there. Ready to transport.
God damn it, it's an MG42. Since that machine gun is quite well protected inside that building, our boys stand no chance to fight back. Make them retreat in order to plan a better approach. Now, sir, you have three options. The first one, the safest but most time-consuming, consists of using mortar teams to kill that MG42 from afar, thus sparing soldiers' lives. The second option, the quickest, consists of using the smoke-on position order of your mortar team to cut the line of sight of the MG42 and conceal your infantry's advance to engage it in close-quarter combat. The third option, the most dangerous one, consists of flanking the MJ-42 with infantry squads. But be warned, it can turn into a real bloodbath. An Allied Scouts unit has just arrived to keep an eye on the MG-42. Mortar team incoming. It is safe to keep them away from the MG-42 as they cannot directly attack an enemy. Instead, you need to take advantage of the mortar's long-range curved shot and disembark the gunners in a safe place.
Ready, sir. I'll get you there.
To use an artillery unit, you need to manually use the fire on position order and point it at that house. Or right-click on the target, if seen, to directly try to kill this unit. The curved shot does not take care of ground obstacles.
Do you have a target, sir?
In the rear with the gear. I'll let you off at these coordinates.
Airborne ready, sir.
Yes, sir. "10 degrees up. Fire."
Where do you want it?
Fire in the hole! Enjoy the show!
Ready to fire. "10 degrees up. Fire."
Move fast and clear. men. Lipton, Malarkey, come with me. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Yes, sir. Let's liberate some ladies. Any orders?
Enemy nearby. Protect the gun.
Foobar! We're paratroopers.
Your unit is under heavy stress. They are pinned and are laying down to gain protection, but at the price of their mobility. Once a squad is immobilized, it takes longer to be wiped out. Use the fallback order to force a pinned down squad to escape this dead end.
Let's go! Fuck is down! Airborne ready, sir.
In fallback stance, the squad will automatically run back to a safe position. During that time, it's impossible for you to give any other order.
Drop 200. 6 rounds. Over.
At your orders. Move fast and clear. Yes, sir. At your orders. Let's liberate some ladies.
Ready to fire. Affirmative. Adjusting on target.
Germans, we shouldn't be here.
At your orders.
Another one bites the dust.
Well done, sir. The MG-42 has been cut to pieces. You have successfully put into practice the combination of infantry and artillery units to regain advantage on the field. In this exercise, you will help an Allied tank progress through the map by being its eyes. You're being granted access to the Recon class. Click Next to compose your battle group. 1 unit's pack slots is available in the unlocked Recon classes. As you can guess, a Recon unit possesses a certain ability to spot and identify the enemy's position. But it has a cost. Scout are usually a very weak unit, so you cannot allow them to engage in battle. Enemies are hiding somewhere near the central road. Tanks have very poor optics, so they can easily be ambushed. You will need to spot enemy positions on a parallel road with your scout. Once your unit has located an enemy, that good old M4A1 with its firepower will automatically neutralize it. Position your men on the deployment zone. Click on the Launch Battle button when it's done, and rally your squad at the Recon site on the parallel road. No units have been deployed. Please pick a unit in the requisition menu to position the unit on the battlefield. The unit will then appear from the blue arrow called Reinforcement Point in move fast order to take the fastest way. The front line is pretty close. You should always consider dismounting your troops before entering enemy territory.
Where do you need us?
As you can see, recon units don't influence the front line, so they're able to sneak up quietly into enemy territory.
Where do you need us?
Enemies identified. It's an MG-42. This one was pretty close to the tank. Let the tank get rid of it. It is impervious to MG fire, unlike your infantry, as you well know.
Yes, sir. I have nothing else planned for this afternoon. Don't wake Jerry.
MG-42 identified. Okay, 2 more enemy units are hiding somewhere else. Progress within the hedgerow to conceal yourself. If you hover over elements of the map, it will provide you with information on their level of protection and concealment. Yellow for light cover, green for heavy cover.
Yes, sir.
While your unit is advancing, you can see the line of sight of your unit or the enemy's one by pressing the short key.
Roger. Hand me the binoculars, Private.
One enemy left. Keep quiet. MG-42 identified in the farm sector. Well done, sir. There's no longer any sign of an enemy presence. You've understood the value of reconnaissance units on the battlefield and have mastered their use. Good job. In this exercise, you will control several types of tanks. You are being granted access to the tank and anti-tank classes of the battle group. Click Next to compose your battle group. Unit pack slots are available in the tank and anti-tank unlock classes. Don't forget to add the new units available in your battle group. Tanks are powerful units, able to engage every type of ground unit. Pay attention to the armor-piercing and high explosive values of their weapons. The AP indicates the unit's ability to destroy armored units. The HE indicates its ability to damage unarmored units. More importantly, have a look at their armor. Most tanks have thick frontal armor. In combat, always try to present your thickest armor to a threat, while at the same time, if you outnumber an enemy tank, try to flank it and attack its rear or side armor. The M4A1 at your disposal are basic medium tanks, well-armored and well-armed, capable to handling all types of combat situations. Anti-tank units come in various calibers, hence efficiency, but are all dedicated to neutralizing enemy armors. Foot ones are usually low profile and easy to conceal to ambush enemy armors, while self-propelled ones trade concealment for mobility and some level of protection. M10A1 destroyers are armored and self-propelled anti-tank units. They are vulnerable due to their open top and weak rear and side armor, but their long-range cannon and speed makes them both very effective and annoying for the enemy to chase down. An Allied scout has been deployed to help you spot enemy tanks waiting to ambush your armors. Position your M4A1 in the deployment zone and click on the Launch Battle button when it's done.
Red 6, mounted up.
Enemy identified. It's a Panzer II Lux. That Panzer II is a lightly armored tank designed for mobility. Light tanks are often very fast and carry enough firepower to be a threat to any unit which is lighter than they are. Position your M4A1 medium tank at range to get rid of it swiftly. Notice the AP value of your main gun against the Panzer II armor.
Best job I ever had.
The enemy tank took too much stress and fallback. It will run back to a safe position. Use the hunt order to pursue him and neutralize it before it recovers. Good job. Panzer II looks neutralized.
I heard there were tigers in this area.
Enemy identified. It is a Panzer IV-G. That Panzer is a tough guy. It's a medium tank similar to our M4A1, but it's armed with an extremely effective gun that's able to knock your isolated tank. We'll need backup to turn that situation to our advantage. Call in the other M4A1 at your disposal. command tank works as platoon leader. Bring it close to your deployed tank to improve its stats. Now that your tanks have gathered, face the Panzer IV-G by holding down the right mouse button on the tanks and dragging the mouse in the direction of the enemy to face the enemy with the strongest armor.
I hear you, loud and clear. I heard there were Tigers in this area.
Good job. Panzer IV-G neutralized.
Yes, sir. Get your shit in gear. We're rolling.
Last enemy identified. It is a Stug 3G. As you can guess from the 2 stars under its tag, this one is a battle-hardened veteran. No need to try to attack it with the M4A1. Let's bring in the M10A1 destroyer and neutralize this tank at long range.
Forward. Red 6, mounted up.
Now, place the M10A1 in range. You can bring the command M4A1 close to it to increase its precision. You can also try to use the other M4A1 tank to flank the Stug 3G. This Stug 3G has no turret, so a flanking maneuver could be pretty efficient.
Ready, sir. Gordo, bring us there. Ready for trophy hunting.
lost a unit, sir. Call for reinforcements and deploy the new unit on the battlefield. Your tank took too much stress and fall back. In falling back stance, it will automatically run back to a safe position. During that time, it is impossible for you to give any other order. Good job. Stud 3G neutralized. Well done, sir. The enemy's presence has been eradicated. You've understood the use of armored units in combat. You are now ready to deal massive damage to the German pride. Great job. In this exercise, you'll learn how to defend against aircraft, and also how to use them. While on the ground, you'll learn how to call in off-map long-range artillery strikes. You're being granted access to the anti-air and air classes of the battle group. Click Next to compose your battle group. Fill the unit pack slots available in the now unlocked artillery, anti-air, and air classes of the battle group. Don't forget to add the new units available to your battle group. Air units have various roles depending on their loadout. Aerial recon, such as the Grasshopper, are the only aerial units that can unveil enemies on the ground without being affected by the terrain or the front line. However, they are very fragile units. Dogfighter aircrafts, such as the P-51D Mustang, fly at a higher altitude to detect other air units and engage them in dogfights. Fighters rule the sky and are the best defense against any other planes. Ground attack aircraft, such as the P-47 Thunderbolt, can engage planes, but also isolated ground targets when loaded with bombs or rockets. But they fly more slowly and at a lower altitude, making them vulnerable to anti-air units. Bomber aircraft, such as the B-26 Mortar, are loaded with several heavy bombs. Their goal is to eradicate massive units, whatever their morale, but their size and speed make them an easy target for any fighters. The mobile observation post can call artillery strikes from an off-map battery. Once the mission is fired, it takes some time to strike, but it suppresses and decimates any units in its area of effect. The anti-air unit's role is to protect your ground units on the battlefield. Most anti-air units serve to suppress enemy planes and force them to evacuate the area. The enemy has established defense positions on the map. You will need to find and dismantle them one by one. But first, Army Intel warns us about an enemy aircraft takeoff. Let's deploy and position the M16 MGMC in your deployment zone. Click on the Launch Battle button when it's done.
AA guns ready. Let's move, boys. Enemy.
The air raid alarm signal indicates an enemy aircraft has been spotted. It's a German Me-109G0 fighter, trying to claim air superiority. Hopefully, you have positioned your anti-air defense in time. The Me-109 is now under suppressive fire. It won't be long before it flees. Great job! The German Me-109 has evacuated. Now that we have a clear sky, bring in the Grasshopper to Recon and find all of the enemy defenses on the ground.
Eyes on the sky.
Once you call in an aircraft, it places itself on the off-map assets panel. This panel lists all of your off-map assets, planes, and heavy artillery, and indicates each one's status. As you can see in the off-map assets panel, your Grasshopper is in ready stance. Select it and right-click anywhere on the map to deploy it.
Eye in the sky. Take care. This plane?
Keep your ground unit away from enemy range. Move your unit to the furthest and safest position from here. You lost a unit, sir. Please pick a unit in the requisition panel. Well done. The Grasshopper's status once deployed is in mission. The gauge represents its fuel tank. Once it's empty, planes automatically evacuate to resupply for a given duration before returning to the ready status. Let's not waste time. We should detect the enemy's positions before the Grasshopper needs to resupply. Good job. All enemy defenses have been spotted. It's a bloody alarm. That goddamn German Me-109 fighter came back. Try to evacuate the Grasshopper. It will cancel its ongoing mission and resupply. It's time to call in the P-51D. It's our best asset against this German fighter. Once deployed, it will automatically engage the Me-109 in a dogfight.
Heading back home.
Go on, Control. Receiving loud and clear. Out. There are two types of pilots, the hunters and the preys. Copy, leader. Attacking. Engaging WEP. Affirmative. Roger. On my way. Attacking. I'll make 8.
Great job. Now we can reclaim air superiority and start the dismantlement of enemy defenses.
Listen in.
Call back a Grasshopper, and let's focus on the first enemy concentration. Let's deploy the 4 GPA OP to call in an off-map artillery strike. Ally M8 reconnaissance vehicles have just arrived to help wipe out any remaining enemies after the artillery strike. For GPA OP deployed. Its associated off-map battery now appears in the off-map assets panel. Next to it are listed 3 types of strikes: fire for effect, emergency, and barrage. Select the fire for effect one, the longest but most precise strike, and click on the first enemy concentration. You have a total of 3 fire missions at your disposal. Scout with the Grasshopper to target precisely, and be sure that no units are left.
Be ready. I'm on E. Bugging out.
Remember that you can increase the game speed.
We'll find him.
Well done. The first enemy defensive line has been wiped out. The best way to get rid of those isolated PaK-43 is with our P-47 Thunderbolt. Use the Grasshopper to get a clear view of the PaK-49 positions and deploy the P-47 to snipe them.
Eye in the sky. There are two types of pilots, the hunters and the preys. Go on, Control. Affirmative.
Okay, one PaK-43 gone, and one to go. Don't waste time. Deploy another P-47.
Awaiting instructions. Eagle 1 ready. Affirmative. How bad is enemy AA over there? Blown right. I'm out of here. Looking for targets. Any orders, sir? Target spotted. Standing by. We'll find him. Affirmative, sir. Target spotted. Request fire mission grid 734536. Enemy spotted.
Good job. The PaK-43 are no more. You can now deploy the B-26 Marauder bombers, or call in another off-map artillery strike, if left, on that last enemy concentration.
Enemy spotted. Raven 4, waiting for action.
Good choice, sir. Select your B-26 and right-click on a spotted enemy target, or fire on position and right-click on the desired position.
Take care. This plane is fragile. Heading back home.
Heading back home.
Great job. The enemy position has been eradicated. Well done, sir. You have mastered the use of off-map assets. You've understood how vital it is to keep air superiority. and how to severely impact the enemy's morale and troops by using powerful off-map artillery strikes. In this exercise, you will be free to put to use what you have already learned in a real skirmish condition. You're being granted access to all the classes of the battle group. Click Next to compose your battle group. Fill all the units' pack slots available to validate your battle group. Recon units can reveal enemy positions and sneak up stealthily into enemy territory. Fill all slots with the available pack. Infantry units have various functions depending on their equipment and are deployed with their transport. Fill all slots with the available pack. Tanks are powerful, but blind units able to engage any ground threat. Fill all slots with the available pack. Support units can provide leadership or fire support, or supply ground units. Fill all slots with the available pack. Anti-tank units can ambush and neutralize armored vehicles. Fill all slots with the available pack. Anti-air units protect your ground units from aerial threat by suppressing any aircraft in their range. Fill all slots with the available pack. Artillery units can strike at long range, while the mobile OP units can call in heavy off-map artillery strikes. Fill all slots with available packs. All units have various functions, depending on their loads. Fill all slots with available packs. In this exercise, you will need to gain map control. The more ground you control, the more victory points you earn. Your objective is to have more victory points than the enemy at the 30-minute mark. Every skirmish game in Steel Division begins in Phase A. Phases determine your requisition points income at different times in the game, and your access to certain units. Phases change every 10 minutes up to the final Phase C. Notice the A, B, or C letters on the unit's pack. B and C unit packs are presently locked. When you build your battle group, make sure to take into consideration which unit pack will unlock to fit your strategy. Position various types of unit in the deployment zone. Click on the Launch Battle button.
Carried away, sir. Yes, sir. I'll let you off at these coordinates. Nothing to report.
The enemy earns 1 victory point every second. It means that as long as he retains control of at least 51% of the map, he'll keep scoring every second. You need to fight him off and expand your influence area, or his score will continue to increase.
Let's have a look around.
Ready, sir. I'll get you there as soon as possible.
Hand me the binoculars, Private. Need some extra eyes, sir?
You have just received plus 90 requisition point. Requisition points are earned every minute and are feedbacked on your requisition menu. Requisition points increase at each phase change. The cost of a unit is indicated on its card. Buy or save your requisition points for your next move. It all depends upon your strategy.
Scouts, at your orders. Yes, sir. Waiting for orders.
I heard there were tigers in this area. Ready to fire. Moving on to new firing position. Artillery at your orders. We're operational. Armor ready.
Enemy spotted.
I hear you, loud and clear. Awaiting orders.
Ready, sir?
Engaging target. Waiting for fire coordinates.
Enemy spotted.
Fire! Smash them! Need some extra firepower?
We're listening. Enemy spotted.
Guns primed and ready.
Enemy spotted. operational.
Yes, sir.
The enemy has scored 500 points. We must fight back and expand our influence to reverse the trend.
Ready to transport. I'll let you off at these coordinates.
Where do you need us?
At your orders. What are our orders, sir?
Sergeant Highway's hit. Do you have a target, sir?